Amanda from the Fundamental Home, and today we are doing the second part in a video series that we started last week about money lessons that we are glad that we taught our children. Only this week, this week in the next couple of weeks, we're actually going to ask our kids what are the money lessons that they're glad that we taught them. So we're going to actually get their opinion. Now Brian, if you've not met Brian, hey, this is Brian, guys.
Hey.
Hey. Brian is my oldest son. He is 20 years old. He is a college graduate. He got his bachelor's degree last year at the age of 19, and his degree is actually in business. And Brian, of course, works for a nonprofit organization. So he works full-time. He actually knows a little bit about finances. He does a lot of work with finances, not just with your degree, but actually in his job daily. So, and he has his own bank account that you've had since you were 14?
Somewhere around.
Yeah, and pays his bills and does all that stuff. So Brian actually has more experience than the rest of my children, and he can kind of look back with a different kind of eye than they can. So Brian, we're just going to take it from you. The point is, what are your 3 money lessons that you're glad that we taught you? Give me number 1.
Okay, I think my first one would probably be that we didn't have an allowance.
Yes.
Our parents talked about giving us an allowance and decided against it. I think it worked out better in the long run. First, because when you think about an allowance, what most people do with it is they pay their children to do regular household chores. And as Mom made very clear to us, and which I have found to be true, you're not paid in real life to do your household chores.
No.
It would have been very disappointing one day to wake up and not be paid for it.
True. Plus, I think being part of a family, that was kind of our point on that, that if you're a member of this family, we all work together and nobody gets paid to do that. That's part of being a family. And we didn't want it to be a different motivation. We wanted that to be the motivation.
Well, and I think it gives kind of an unrealistic expectation, too, about that you just have this regular source of income rolling in, and on top of the regular household things, you can just plan on having whatever you want with that in mind.
Yeah. So in terms of it being a financial lesson, did that mean that he had no money? No, you had money, but you had to earn it. And
or earn.
Yeah, that's true. If he needed something, we would certainly give it to them if we could afford it, if we felt like if it was wise. But if it was something outside of the box, they had to earn it. One thing I will say that, I'm sure this isn't on your list, I hope it's not.
Uh-oh.
We banned video games until you could buy your own video games, thinking that they would never be able to save and buy their own video games. But they're actually very industrious. and the boys actually set out to earn money to buy their video games and did a good job of it.
Actually, that was how we started our eBay business.
Yep, so they started doing eBay. They started buying things at thrift stores and reselling them on eBay and getting a few dollars here and there, and bought all of their video games that way. So worked out really well. And I think that taught you a lot of lessons too. Was that on your list? I don't know.
It wasn't, no, but that was a good one too.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
But not having an allowance made you have that kind of interest in making your own earnings. So I think it gave you...
It was a deterrent to wastefulness. Like, I didn't feel like I had to save all my money and then blow it all at once.
Yeah, that's true.
Ricky did that once with one of his birthday presents. He saved all his birthday money, spent it all on the bike, and then he broke his bike.
Yes, and so then we learned the things that you purchase you need to take care of because money's not flowing back in. Mom and Dad aren't just giving you another allowance next week.
No.
You know, if you haven't earned it, you don't get it. So lots of lessons with no allowance. Okay, give me number 2. What's number 2?
Okay, so I think that number 2 would probably be that we pay our bills first. I think that was an important lesson. Working in the area that I do now, I realize that not many people actually do that.
Yeah.
And that's a pitfall for a lot of people. They don't pay out what they already owe to other people. So it's more or less honoring your debts, I think, was a good thing that we taught.
Yeah, what Brian, I said, works for a nonprofit, and the nonprofit he works for actually helps people in the community to pay their bills. And so Brian has seen a lot of people who, for one reason or another, haven't handled their finances well, and so they have to come to this nonprofit organization to get help to get kind of out of a hole. And so I guess to us it seemed like it just made sense, pay your bills first, but not everyone gets that. You know, not everyone even teaches that at home. Your kids might not even realize it. I know when I first got married, and I don't know if I've ever told you this, Rick and I actually would buy groceries first.
I do remember you mentioning that.
Because we thought, oh, we have to eat, so we'll buy groceries first, and whatever's left over, we'll pay the bills with that. Well, the problem was we always spent way too much on groceries because we had no idea how to budget, obviously. And so then we never had enough to pay our bills, but we thought, how else can we do things? Because we got to eat. Well, eventually I got the point that if we're going to keep things in order, we have to pay the bills first and make the grocery budget work, which is how I ended up with such a small grocery budget. But that's the reality of it. You got to make it work. So yeah, pay your bills first. If you're going to get anywhere, that's got to happen. All right, third one.
Okay, my third one and my favorite is that they actually let me look at our real household budget. Now, for me personally, I like the practical aspect, that it's not just all these concepts, and I understand them in theory, but I actually get to see them in practice. And I like numbers, and I like being able to see exactly why we only have so much in the budget for certain things, and how long we have the time periods for it, and that sort of thing. And that was very helpful to me. I've actually heard some people talk about how they don't like their children to look at their real finances. They feel like it gives them anxiety, and there are a couple of other issues, but it never bothered me.
Yeah, our finances in our household are an open book. Anyone in our household can go look at our bank account and see what's happening, what's going from one account or another. And I'm on every bank account.
Yes.
I'm on everyone's bank account in our house. And that's mostly just for practical reasons.
I'd say we had to do it that way when we were teenagers.
Yep, and I just have it come
I've
off.
just kept it that way.
Yeah, it's convenient because then I'm the one paying all the bills. They're like, hey, can you go pay this? And I'm like, sure, I'm out paying bills anyway. But but it's coming from their account, not mine. So we have all of the money, everybody can see it. And we know what bills need to be paid when. We had it up on a calendar. I don't have the calendar in this house, but for years we had a calendar on the wall with all the bills labeled, and everybody could see what was going in and what was going out when, and we did it as a family. Even though it was Rick and I guess Rick was the only one working. So even though it really was Rick's money, it was our family's finances, and it was just transparent. So everybody was well aware. And I think that also helped with, like, you guys didn't ask too much for things.
It's true.
Because you knew. I mean, some kids, I think, really, like, ask for big things. And you didn't have any unrealistic expectations because you could see the number right there on the wall. And it's like, yeah, probably not getting that Wii. You know, don't even ask for it because it's probably not happening. And I think it also, in terms of that whole idea of not having unrealistic expectations, I think certainly related to food, because our food budget has always been so tight and everybody wants food. I think that's always been one of those things that they didn't really ask for anything extra. If everybody wanted anything, they wanted like a special snack or a treat or something. So nobody was asking for major purchases because they could see it.
Actually, it was kind of fun. When I was a little kid, I used to like trying to fit things within the budget. We tried to find the sales, and we'd hunt through the aisles. Yeah. Yeah. And like, I remember we used to go to the thrift store with like $2. And be like, what can we find?
Could get for $2. Yeah. And it was just fun to do.
Of course, we lived near a really good thrift store then. It was like 10 cents for all the books.
Oh, yeah, yeah. When we lived in Maryland, it was 10 books for $1. That was amazing. I
missed that thrift store.
Yeah, it's not here, though. But we had to downsize a bit when we moved out of state. But okay, so those are your three. So recap.
I had the allowance.
Yeah, no allowance.
I had the budget. I actually got to see what was in the budget and paying the bills.
And paying the bills first. Okay. Those are great answers. Those are actually different than what me and Dad said. So
I'm not surprised.
I'm a little intrigued to see. The reason why I asked is Rick and I have this idea of what we think was the best lessons, but they might have a different idea. So I'm excited next time to see. Ricky's going to come in and do a video with us, and we'll see what Ricky thinks are his best financial lessons. And after we talk to all the kids, then we're going to come back, Rick and I, and talk about things that we think maybe we might tweak. We still have a few more years left with everybody. Brian, you're not going anywhere anytime soon, right?
Not too soon.
Yeah, he's going to hang out for a little while. Maybe we could still teach you another financial lesson. I don't know. Maybe you could teach us one. But, all right, well, thanks for watching. We appreciate you being here. And like I said, next time we'll have Ricky. And that's it. So we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm really glad you came to visit us here at the Fundamental Home. Make sure if you enjoyed this video that you click the like button, and also click subscribe right below me for more videos coming into your inbox all the time. And also, if you enjoy social media, we've got links up at the top here for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all the other fun things. And check out thefundamentalhome.com for more information about what we're doing all the time and how we do it, because there's way more details there. And here over to the right, we have some videos that I recommend. So thanks again for coming by, and we'll see you next time. Bye!